Right now, the electric car market is doing something nobody predicted. Sales are still climbing. More models are hitting showrooms than ever, and yet people who bought an EV just a few years ago are quietly losing tens of thousands of dollars. Some have lost more than the entire purchase price of a brand new Toyota Camry. And the thing is, most of them walked into that dealership thinking they were making the smartest financial decision of their life. Here's what nobody is telling you about electric cars in 2026. I've spent the last week going through the 2026 depreciation data from iSeeCars, the Consumer Reports owner, satisfaction surveys, the J.D. Power Public Charging Study, and manufacturer supply chain audits. And what I found is that most EV buyers are operating on three assumptions. Three things they genuinely believe are true that the numbers completely destroy. So I'm going to walk you through all three. And then because knowing what to avoid is only half the job, I'm going to tell you exactly what to buy instead. Let's start with the big one, the money myth. According to iSeeCars, who analyzed over 950,000 vehicle sales in 2026, the average electric car loses 58.5% of its value over 5 years. The average gas car, 45.6%. That gap is costing EV buyers tens of thousands of dollars they never saw coming. But here's where it really gets painful. Luxury EVs are a financial disaster. The Jaguar I-Pace lost 72% of its value over 5 years. 72. A car that cost $75,000 is now worth around $20,000. The Mercedes EQS depreciated so fast in its first year that owners lost more money than the entire purchase price of a brand new Toyota Camry. Think about that for a second. You spent over $100,000 on a luxury electric vehicle, and in 12 months, you lost more than a Camry costs. Now, here's the important part. Not every EV is a depreciation disaster. Among mainstream EVs, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6 hold their value significantly better than the luxury models. The Ioniq 5 has 800-volt architecture, meaning it charges faster than most Tesla's real-world range, over 300 miles in the long-range trim, and the resale data shows it holding value better than nearly any non-Tesla EV on the market. The Kia EV6 is another excellent alternative. Same platform, slightly sportier, equally strong on depreciation. So if you want an EV that won't torch your wallet, these two are your answer. Now, the depreciation problem is bad, but it's not the only thing the numbers expose. Lie number 2. The charging infrastructure is almost there. I hear this constantly, and here's what the actual data from J.D. Power says. As recently as 2024, 1 in 5 public charging attempts failed. Completely failed. The charger was broken, the app wouldn't connect, the payment system was down. In 2025, that improved. J.D. Power's study of over 7,400 EV owners found that number dropped to 1 in 7. 1 in 7. Now, think about that. If 1 in 7 gas stations just didn't work when you pulled in, there would be riots. And yet, for EV owners, 1 in 7 failed charging attempts is considered progress. And it's not evenly distributed. The Pacific region, mainly California, has some of the best coverage, but drivers in Wyoming, Mississippi, and West Virginia are still facing charging deserts, hundreds of miles between reliable fast chargers. So here's the honest answer. If you have a garage or driveway where you can charge overnight, an EV makes perfect sense. The public infrastructure problem doesn't apply to you. But if you park on the street, live in an apartment, or regularly drive long distances through rural areas, buy a plug-in hybrid instead. The Toyota RAV4 Prime gives you 42 miles of pure electric range. That covers the average American's daily commute. After that, the gas engine kicks in and you never think about charging again. Zero range anxiety. The Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid is another strong alternative, 33 miles of EV range and a genuinely nice interior at a lower price point. So we've covered the money myth and the charging myth, but the third one, this is the one that makes people angry. Lie number 3. All electric cars are good for the environment. Here's the deal. Over its full lifetime, an EV is generally cleaner than a gas car. The data supports that, but the idea that all EVs are equally green, that's not what the supply chain numbers show. The problem is battery production. Lithium extraction, particularly in South America's lithium triangle covering Argentina, Bolivia, And Chile consumes enormous quantities of water. For every ton of lithium produced, approximately 500,000 gallons of water are used. 500,000 gallons per ton. And the carbon footprint of manufacturing a large battery pack generates emissions equivalent to driving a gas car for 1 to 2 years before the EV even turns a wheel. The exact number depends on where the battery was made and what energy powered the factory. A battery made in China on coal power has a very different footprint than one made in Europe on renewable energy. The cobalt supply chain also has documented links to exploitative mining practices in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Some manufacturers are now publishing full supply chain audits. Others are not. If you care about the environmental impact, the vehicle to look at is the Volvo EX30. Volvo publishes a full lifecycle carbon footprint for every model on its website. The EX30 uses a smaller 64 kilowatt hour battery pack specifically to reduce manufacturing emissions, and Volvo's supply chain audit is one of the most transparent in the industry. The BMW i4 is another strong option, similar transparency and strong efficiency numbers. Now I want to hear from you. Are you considering an EV right now, or have you already made the switch? And which of those 3 myths hit closest to home? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video just saved you from a 5-figure depreciation mistake, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe to Honest Four Wheeler for honest car buying advice, real data, no dealership spin. I'll see you next.